Alright, so let's talk about the form. So form is extremely important when we do web application because that's how we submit information, right? Okay, and there are several ways of building a form. So the way that you've been taught is just building it directly as the HTML, right? One thing that you should do for every form that you build is to add this input tag, authenticity token, and to just add that. Okay, just do it for every single one. You can read this third link over here to understand how this works and how this will protect your site from being hacked. Okay, cross-site stuff. Okay, so this is what you know, and you can just put the name of the URL and put method, and it would just work. Now, let's say I mean there are helpers to help you build the form. We mentioned about some of the error messages, but you can see F label, F text field. This will just create an input type text with the name of, and it just doesn't. It's supposed to help you, but in the beginning, I think it will just confuse you more using this form for using the add post and stuff like that. It may not, but that's the Rails default form helper, and I don't really like using it very much, but other developers may use it. Okay, there's also simple form, which is really cool, and notice how more simple this looks. And this automatically creates the label and the field. You can customize it. There's a cool video that you can watch from Ryan Bates. Really yeah, smart, good guy. All the Railcast has a lot of videos that are way too advanced, and I don't want you to rely on the Railcast video, but he did a very good job explaining the simple form. And also you can look at GitHub and simple form, and I'll have this link as well, and they go through all the different ways of using this. You can customize it, you can change the label, change the add placeholder, you can add different CSS, I mean different like attributes and so forth. But the way that simple form could be really powerful is, let's say you're passing a model or an instance of a model, and just by going over each of the field, it automatically creates what they consider to be the most appropriate type, like input type text or text area or drop down menu and all that. So play around with this. I think we'll have an assignment where you will play with simple form, because it could make your form building a lot easier. But again, it really all boils down to basic. Basically, those helpers, all these F label, F text area, and even simple form is basically just trying to make it easier for you to generate this form, which you already know how to do. So if you're finding yourself spending too much time on using these helpers, if it's not helping you create the HTML forms faster, don't use it. Just, I mean, especially in the bootcamp, just focus on creating the form. Just make sure you put the authenticity token. Just kind of know how these form helpers work, so that later when you see it, you're not surprised by it. But again, all these things are just supposed to help you create these forms. But you already know how to create the form. It requires some extra typing, but I think that's okay when you're getting trained. Okay, later on, when you join some companies, they'll probably use like shortcuts like this, but when you're getting trained, I think it's better that you do this. But anyway, my suggestion would be build all the forms just using normal stuff. I mean, and then later you can refactor some of your codes using simple forms or using the default form helper provided by Rails. Okay? Alright, sounds good.